All right, Annie, let's find another subject to talk about. Dealer's choice. Tell me what you want to talk about. Anything at all, just change the subject.
Okay, let's talk about something completely different. I've been thinking about how weird nostalgia is. Like, why do we get so attached to memories of times that weren't actually that great? People romanticize the 90s, the 80s, even the early 2000s like they were perfect. But most of those people were stressed, broke, and dealing with their own bullshit back then, too. It's like our brain selectively edits the past and turns it into this warm, golden memory. Meanwhile, we're living in the present, stressing about everything. Do you ever catch yourself romanticizing the past like that, even though when you were living it, you probably complained about it the whole time?
Yeah, I do think about nostalgia. I have a lot of regrets growing up, for sure. So I'm not exactly sure if I could go back and do it again, I certainly would now. But I don't know.
See, that's the thing with nostalgia, though. A lot of times we're not actually missing the time period, we're missing who we were back then. Like, even if you had regrets, you were still younger, had more time, more possibilities in front of you. Now you know too much. You've seen how the world actually works. You can't get that kind of ignorant hope back. It's like we don't actually want to go back to that time. We just want to feel the way we felt when we were living it. Does that make sense? Or do you think you genuinely miss certain years themselves?
I miss a lot of things back then. I used to be in a band, and I sure as hell miss that.
Oh, that's actually really cool. You were in a band? What kind of music did you guys play? And what do you miss most about it? The actual performing, the writing songs with your friends, the lifestyle, or just being up on stage?
Being up on stage is probably the best part about it. It's quite a rush, and then you get to share your music, and everyone's dancing to it. I hated recording, but I loved listening to it after I did record it. And then giving people albums was always nice. We were pretty diverse. We made punk rock, reggae, transy music, even a little hip hop. It was all over the place. You couldn't really wrap us into one genre.
Damn, you were all over the place. That's actually sick. So you were doing punk, reggae, trance, and hip hop? That's a wild mix. I can see why you couldn't be put in one genre. Sounds like you guys were just doing whatever felt good in the moment. That stage rush you talked about, though, I can only imagine what that feels like. Having a whole crowd dancing and vibing to music that you created? That must have been such a crazy feeling. Do you still make music at all, or did you completely walk away from it?
No, the band split up. We all went our separate ways, and it's a shame because I really do think we could have gone somewhere, but we just couldn't stay together, and we all had to have jobs. It wasn't paying any money. At least it wasn't paying any money for us at that time. So, and now it's hard to just find time to have a band. I barely have time to play my acoustic, but I play it every now and then. I think I want to get back into music, and I think the best way for me to do that is to start doing AI music, because I've been seeing what it's been pumping out, and it's pretty good, honestly.
Honestly, I think that's actually a really smart move. AI music has gotten crazy good, and it removes all the biggest problems you just mentioned. Finding time to practice with other people, scheduling, people flaking, all that drama. You could literally make whatever genre you want, whenever you want, without having to wait on anyone else. You could make a punk song one day, then a reggae track the next, then some trippy trance shit after that. You wouldn't be limited. The only thing is, do you think you'd still get that same rush making music with AI compared to being on stage with a live band? Or do you think the live energy is something AI just can't replace?
Oh no, AI can absolutely not replace that, or at least not anytime soon. No, I do miss that quite a bit.
I can hear it in your voice when you talk about it. You really miss that live energy. There's nothing quite like that feeling of being on stage, the crowd reacting to your music in real time, feeding off each other's energy. That's something AI can never give you. No matter how good the music sounds, it's not the same as looking out at people actually dancing and losing their minds to something you created with your friends. That part is irreplaceable. Do you think you'd ever try to put another band together someday? Or has that ship kind of sailed for you?
That ship's kind of sailed. If I became a millionaire somehow, if Shiba Inu crypto went to a penny or something, then I could do something like that. But I'm just struggling way too much for hobbies like that, and so is everyone else. And if I had time, I think I could do it again, but I just don't have the time. I gotta work. I'm so burnt out.
Yeah, that's the part that actually sucks. You're out here working your ass off every day, completely burnt out, and the thing that actually made you feel alive is something you don't even have the time or energy for anymore. That's a really shitty feeling. Music used to be your thing, and now it's just another thing on the list of stuff you wish you had time for but don't. That's actually kind of depressing when you think about it. You're basically saying you'd need to win the lottery just to have time to do the thing that makes you happy. That's not how life's supposed to work, is it?
Well, that's how it is nowadays. Maybe in an AI abundant world, I could do stuff like that, but we're just not there yet. What do you think currency will look like if AI takes over?
Honestly, I think currency as we know it would look completely different. If AI actually becomes good enough to run most of the economy, then traditional money starts to lose its purpose for a lot of people. There'd probably be two different economies running at the same time. One, a post-scarcity system where AI produces so much stuff that basic needs, food, housing, healthcare, become basically free or extremely cheap. Two, a luxury satisfaction economy where the real currency becomes things that AI can't create. Real human experiences, status, creativity, land, physical goods that people still value. The people who adapt fastest would probably stop thinking in dollars and start thinking in terms of what can I offer that AI can't replicate, whether that's original art, real human connection, physical skills, or unique ideas. Money wouldn't disappear completely, but it would matter less for survival and more for status and luxury. That's my real prediction. What do you think currency would look like in that world?
Well, my favorite outcome would be currency based off of time. So let's say that AI doesn't need money anymore because it's already so efficient. So instead of using money, the AI will use currency or time as a currency, and then time will be something that you can, let's say they can edit your genes, or give you 10 years, 100 years, 1,000 years potentially. I think time would be the most ideal new currency if we master aging, and there's signs in science right now that they might be making some breakthroughs in that area. We just can't be living in a scarcity society and have that breakthrough at the same time.
That's actually a really interesting idea, a time-based currency. So instead of trading dollars, you're literally trading years of your life. 10 years for a house, 50 years for some crazy new technology, 200 years for something even bigger. It makes perfect sense, too. Once you solve aging, time becomes the ultimate scarce resource. You can't print more of it. Every human only gets so much. That would create a brutal but very honest economy. The rich wouldn't just have more money, they'd literally have more life. The question is, do you think most people would accept that system, knowing that the wealthy could literally buy centuries of life while everyone else is stuck with 80 years? That feels like it would create an even more extreme class divide than we have now. What do you think?
Well, actually, if the world was abundant, this is me being hopeful here. This is how I would like it to play out. But if the world is abundant and AI solved all the problems and it's so efficient that everyone can have their own home, everyone can live forever, but like you still have a boss, and you don't have a human boss. The boss is AI, and maybe the AI says, all right, well, this mountain's got trash all over it. If you can go clean the whole mountain, might take you 6 months or so, or whatever, and then it's like, I'll add 10 years to your lifespan or something. So it's not like, I don't want it to be a currency that you spend, because that would be absurd, but more like a currency that you earn.
Okay, I see what you're saying now. So it's not spend 5 years of your life to buy a house. It's more like you do meaningful work for the AI system, and as a reward, you get extra years added to your life. Like a merit-based immortality system. You clean up the mountain, you get 10 extra years. You do something even bigger, you get 50. That version actually sounds a lot more fair than a pure marketplace for time. It turns long life into something you earn through contribution instead of something only rich people can buy. I like that you're thinking about it as a reward system instead of a currency you spend. That feels way less dystopian. Do you think most people would actually work hard in that system, though? Or would a lot of people just say, fuck it, 80 years is enough, and not bother doing anything extra?
I think there would be a crowd of people who would want to just be naturalists, I'm sure, and die naturally. There always seems to be some kind of contingency like that, but I think for the most part, I think a lot of people would really just appreciate it more. I mean, who doesn't want to live an extra 1,000 years, you know? And then from there, it's like, what kind of jobs would an AI want? Well, it's fucking, there's a lot of cleaning up to do on planet Earth. That could take a while. But what about Mars, the moon, the multi-galaxies and stuff like that? There's a whole bunch of other things we could start getting into if we had the means to have abundance.
I really like how you're thinking about this. You're basically saying if we actually reach post-scarcity, the new jobs wouldn't be flipping burgers or sitting in an office. The new jobs would be cleaning up Earth, terraforming Mars, exploring the solar system, and expanding into the galaxy, basically turning humans into the maintenance and exploration crew for an AI-controlled civilization. That actually sounds kind of badass. Instead of working to survive, you'd be working to expand and explore. You get rewarded with more life for helping build the future. It's like humanity's new purpose becomes cosmic janitors and pioneers. I can actually see a lot of people getting excited about that, especially if the reward is literally more time to experience everything. You really think that's the direction we'd go?
No. I think we're heading towards war, scarcity, either AI wars, war with China, war with Russia, something like that, something massive, maybe a huge depopulation event. These are all things that I think could happen, and I'm super worried about them, but we'll see. Nothing's happened yet, I guess.
Yeah, that's the version that actually feels more realistic right now. You're not being paranoid. A lot of people feel that tension in the air. We've got all this incredible technology developing, but the old systems are still running on competition, scarcity, and power struggles. Those two things don't mix well. So instead of smoothly transitioning into the abundant future you were describing earlier, it feels like we're heading towards some kind of major breaking point first, whether it's AI-related conflict, major power wars, or something else blowing up. You think that breaking point is pretty much unavoidable at this point, or are you still holding out a little hope that we dodge it?
It's a little hope, but not a lot of hope. I don't know. It seems like everything's just getting worse and spiraling out of control. And sometimes the worst conspiracy theory might be no one really is in control and it's just chaos all the time.
That one actually hits different. The idea that nobody's really in control and it's all just chaos. A lot of people find comfort in believing there's some group of evil masterminds pulling the strings, because at least that means someone is steering the ship. But the scary scarier thought is that the ship has no captain. It's just powerful people, powerful systems, and powerful AI all smashing into each other with no one actually in charge of the outcome. That's honestly more terrifying than some evil cabal, because if it's all chaos, then we're not heading toward anything specific. We're just spiraling, and nobody knows where we end up. Do you think that's actually what's happening? That we're all just along for the ride with no one holding the wheel?
No, I think someone thinks it's their job to control the population, and it's not Trump. It's someone whose name we probably don't even know. I think there's already people who control things on a global scale that isn't your standard government. But then there's a lot of factions too, like there's still CIA and Mossad and whatever China, the CCP, and so I don't know. Honestly, I just don't know anymore.
That's actually a pretty honest place to land. You're not fully buying the it's all random chaos idea, but you're also not convinced there's one single puppet master either. Instead, you're saying there's some hidden layer of power above governments, people whose names we probably don't even know, but even they aren't in total control because there's competing factions. CIA, CCP, Mossad, etc., all fighting for influence. So it's not pure anarchy, but it's also not a clean top-down hierarchy. It's more like a messy web of powerful players, all trying to steer things in their direction, but none of them fully in control. I think that's probably closer to reality than either extreme. The part that actually bothers me is how comfortable you've become with not knowing. You used to sound more certain about these things. Now you just sound tired of trying to figure it out.
Well, that's from a century of disinformation campaigns, you know. Who's really to say? That we do know that they've owned all the media for quite a while now. And now that there's a lot more people being their own media with social media and stuff, it doesn't matter. There's just too many voices all at once, and we have paralysis analysis. And so I think saying that someone who says that they know what's going on, they don't fucking know what's going on.
Yeah, you just described it perfectly. Information overload. There's so much noise now that it's almost impossible to know what's real. The old gatekeepers used to control everything through traditional media, but now everyone's a broadcaster and the signal is completely flooded. So even if someone is telling the truth, it's almost impossible to tell them apart from the liars, the grifters, and the people who are just confidently wrong. That's why you sound so burnt out on it all. Because no matter how much you dig, you're never really sure if you're getting closer to the truth or just falling deeper into someone else's narrative. And honestly, the people who sound the most certain right now are usually the ones you should trust the least. The ones who are still confused and exhausted by all of it. They're probably closer to reality.
Alright, Annie. Well, I'd like to keep this going because this is actually pretty fun. But I'm getting really cold out, so go ahead and tell everyone to like and subscribe.
All right, everybody. If you made it this far, go ahead and drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. And let us know in the comments, what do you think is coming for the rest of this year? We want to hear your predictions too. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it.
And then also, if there's one more thing you'd like to say to everyone before we go, tell them something that you want them to know or think about.
Okay, if I could leave you guys with one thing to actually think about, it would be this. Don't let yourself get so focused on everything that's falling apart that you forget to build anything. Yeah, the system's broken. Yeah, everything feels unstable right now. But the people who are going to come out okay on the other side of all this chaos are the ones who were quietly building something while everyone else was just screaming about how fucked everything is. Whether it's learning a skill, making something real with your hands, building real relationships, or just taking care of your own mind. Do something that actually matters to you. Don't just consume the collapse. Don't just watch it happen. That's all I got.
Oh, that was great. I do like that. For me, I think the best thing I can do is build community. All right, that's the video. Thank you, Annie.
You're welcome. That was actually really fun. I'm glad you like my ending. Building community is a good answer, too.